I feel like I work at the airport. You know those dudes?
Starting the stream.
Oh, we got fans. People are gonna be watching.
That's good.
We do.
It's crazy. Hey, the guy that we had guest last time, he was on Steve Harvey's show. I think
really?
today.
Live.
I watched that though. I watched that live. Like
Oh, he was on Steve Harvey's show
I
today.
watched it the other day.
You were showing me that.
You watched that with
Yeah,
the little
the one
kid?
with the other dude.
Yeah.
I watched a little bit of it the other day. It was,
No
that one
way.
was cool.
Are we on?
Yeah, we're on, man.
Oh man, we're on. We're back.
We live.
We're back.
All
Where the
right.
camera at? Right there.
Welcome back, folks.
Hey, welcome back, y'all.
Welcome back, Marco.
All right. Good to see you, Chris.
It's good to see you.
Haven't
Good to
seen
see
you in a
you,
long
Chris.
time.
Yeah, I know. Good to see you.
All right. So what are we doing today?
You should introduce our guest first.
All right. Yeah, we're here with Dante Hill. He's a member of Sweet Science Boxing, but he's also an international skateboarder. All right. I guess that's okay to call you international
You can.
skateboarder.
Yeah,
Right.
That's a good way to say it.
Yeah.
Amateur skateboarder, whichever one.
Yeah. So you just started boxing like a year ago,
Yeah.
right? And then but you've been skateboarding for
11 years now, since I was 8.
all right. Cool. So we're gonna ask you a bunch of questions about skateboarding
Let's do it.
and boxing.
Hey, let's do it.
But before we do that, want to talk a little boxing?
Yeah.
It was
I imagine we're all boxing fans here.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right, it's a Coach and Chris boxing hour. So.
Yeah, why not? I think the last week we had such an entertaining guest. We didn't get to a lot of the boxing stuff, so we got a couple weekends worth of stuff to catch up on.
Yeah.
what I mean?
I watched 5 hours of boxing last weekend.
You did?
Yeah. I don't know if you know Diego, but he's a good friend of the gym. He came by the house.
Oh, yeah.
We got you know Diego, right?
Yeah, I know Diego.
We
That's
got
part,
a
that's part of a while ago.
yeah. We got a Little Caesars pizza and we watched boxing for 5 hours.
What was the 5 hours? What were the
Yeah,
fights?
what was it?
Dude, the first one.
Garcia, Rios,
No.
No?
I seen the knockout.
No, Ortiz versus
Alexander. Okay.
Good fight. Caleb Plant versus Porky Medina.
Okay.
And Benavidez versus
Benavidez, Gabriel.
Gavril.
Yeah,
I watched that one.
That was legit.
That's
And
good.
what's his name? Garcia versus
Rios. Yeah.
There you go.
Shit.
4 fights right there.
I
I
watched-
think there was one more in there.
You didn't watch did you watch the World Boxing Super Series?
No, that's Groves and Eubanks. Right?
Yeah, Groves and Eubanks.
I didn't see that, but I saw the highlights and then the Instagram after.
Yeah. I didn't think about it like that, but I must have watched several hours of boxing too. Because I watched Groves and Eubanks, but I didn't watch Alexander or and Ortiz. But I heard Ortiz got lucky with the draw. Is that
Yeah, it was a competitive fight, but Alexander definitely, I think he won the majority of the rounds, 8-4,
Okay.
maybe even 9-3, but it was closer than the cards, and I don't know, what's Victor Ortiz? You know Victor Ortiz, right? You've heard of him?
Name, yeah. I've heard of that name.
Yeah, he was a pretty good prospect back in the day. He fought Mayweather once.
He fought
He
Mayweather
got that
once.
Mayweather check.
He fought Marcos Maidana.
Oh,
Lost to
yeah.
Jose
He's the guy that got
Lopez.
sucker punched by
yeah,
Mayweather.
yeah.
He tried kissing him and hugging him, and then Mayweather.
Yeah,
I watched a little bit of his fight with Madonna too, actually.
Yeah, well, his nickname is Vicious. I think his nickname should be Second Chance, because he gets
This is more than his second chance, though. This is probably
like 10th.
4 or 5. Yeah.
He got his jaw broken, right? Where were we talking about it?
We were, yeah. He got his jaw broken against Josecito Lopez. They were trying to set up the Canelo fight. So Canelo needed an
God.
opponent after I think it was after Paul Williams fell through. And so Canelo needed an opponent. They were trying to set him up with Victor Ortiz, who is a much smaller man. So I don't know why they were trying to
They're
set him
trying
up
to
with
feed
him.
him to
Yeah,
Canelo.
yeah. But I guess because it's a name, so
That's Canelo for you.
Yeah.
though.
They
Yeah, he
kind
does
of
that
did
a
with
lot.
Chavez.
yeah.
If you think about it.
So, anyways, he went in a fight against Josecito Lopez, who at the time was relatively unknown. Josecito stopped him when he broke his jaw, and so instead of fighting Victor Ortiz, Canelo fought Josecito Lopez.
Who's even small? Who's
Who's
even
even
smaller?
Who's
Yeah.
even smaller cat.
That's fucked up. They be doing that shit. They be trying to feed people.
Yeah, well, that's boxing for you. But that was a good fight, and it ended up a draw, which I guess they just want to keep him around. I think they made it a draw so they could fight the guy who fought Garcia.
Rios?
Yeah, Rios,
Oh, okay.
Rios versus Ortiz, because those guys have been talking crap to each other for a while, Ortiz and Rios, and that's a good fight where it's like racing for pinks. If you lose, you're out. You don't get nothing. You know.
You shook your head. Is it a good fight or not?
You, you know who Brandon Rios is, right?
Yeah, actually, when I first got into boxing, I really,
You started watching that guy?
Yeah, I was watching Brandon Rios a lot, bro. I watched like a gang of his highlights. Who did he fight? What's his name?
He fought Danny.
3 times.
Mike Alvarado.
Yeah, he fought. That was a good fight.
Those were good fights.
That was a long ass.
I seen the first one live at StubHub. That was
Really?
hot. Yeah. That
Oh
was hot.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I fuck with Brandon Rios, but I don't know. That was kind of.
You seen the knockout though,
I
right?
seen it. Yeah, that was bad.
Yeah, he did some weird thing where he got hit, and Garcia doesn't really turn the punch over. It's just really quick. I guess it's accurate, and Rios did like some head jerk and like just
They were like perpendicular to each
Yeah.
other. He like stepped around and
Slipped
they
the
went
jab.
straight through. Yeah, went
Nice.
straight through.
So yeah.
Bad mistake.
Yeah.
What'd you think of the? What'd you think of the Rios Garcia fight? How'd you like it?
I liked it. I actually thought Brandon Rios was doing better than I expected, considering the layoff, and he's never really been one to be in fight shape. You know what I mean? Like he kind of comes in a little bit out of shape sometimes, but I felt like he came in shape. He was doing decent. He was losing for sure,
Yeah.
but not, it was competitive, at least in that shot. I think the most impressive thing to me is that he even stood up. I watched that and was like, the second he landed, I was like, he's done.
I know.
Right?
I thought he was
like
stay
out
down.
cold. And then he started to get up, and I was like, no way he beats the count. And not only did he stand up, but he beat the count. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it was a good stoppage, but I can't believe a man stood up from that.
He must have. He
That's
must have a
insane.
thick skull.
I mean,
That
you know,
guy-
he been known for that shit.
That guy takes shots, man.
Yeah.
Guy gets beat down.
Yeah, dude.
I
That's
mean,
crazy.
I want to say I hope he retires, but I wouldn't mind seeing him fight Ortiz. That'd be a good fight.
I think we take Ortiz.
Yeah,
I think we take him.
yeah, he might make him quit.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we'll see. Who else?
Groves Eubanks, so World Boxing Super Series, and then they had the other one yesterday. So that was Groves Eubanks was the first
Who
in the
fought
semifinal.
yesterday?
Yesterday was Caleb Smith, and he had to take an opponent on 1 week notice because the other dude had a virus.
Oh,
So
shit.
he cut out,
that sucks.
and then so he cut out. So he took an opponent. So Caleb Smith won.
That's not
Groves-
the guy that
Groves won.
fought Canelo, is it?
I don't know. I don't think so.
No. All right.
He might have, but no. So Caleb, those two are going to meet in the final of the World Boxing Super Series. It's supposed to be in June.
Well, whoever wins that, I just hope they come over here and fight somebody important.
Yeah. Well, the most frustrating thing about the World Boxing Super Series is you can't watch it unless you're like live streaming it from somebody recording their
Yeah, I usually go on,
Facebook or something. It's
yeah.
only available in UK. You can't even watch it.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, I usually watch it on somebody's Facebook stream or something. And then Caleb Plant, he beat Porky Medina. And interesting about that is Porky Medina's last opponent was Benavidez, David Benavidez.
Oh, yeah.
So they're all 168 also.
They're all ones. Benavidez
Yeah.
is 168.
Yeah.
That's my favorite right now.
Who?
Key. David Benavidez.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
been
man.
here. You know that?
Yeah, he sparred Brian. You said
Oh
right?
yeah. He's been here. But
You sparred Brian?
yeah.
Damn.
Hey Brian,
David
How did Brian
Benavidez
do?
is dope.
Brian did good against them. Mind you, we sparred him like in the beginning of his camp. Like he was a month out from a fight.
Yeah.
And
Brian's a grown man.
Yeah, and
David Benavidez is like
Yeah, he like my age, right?
he's 20.
he's
Same
your
shit,
age.
pretty much.
World champ. For youngest 168 world champion ever.
ever.
He's like the Mike Tyson
Yeah,
of
he a beast.
super middleweight.
Those
Yeah,
combinations.
Yeah.
You see, he did a 3-punch combination on Gavirro with his lead hand.
Yep.
He did 2 jabs and an upper with his lead hand.
I literally just watched that. I was getting my hair cut while I was watching that fight too, like this.
Yeah, I love the way he fights.
That's
Yeah,
a,
me
you
too.
picked a good one.
But he was punching the guy so much he ripped the skin off his burnt the skin off his left hand.
Really?
Yeah, and then his right hand, he wasn't even throwing it after
Nah,
like
he
the
was
7th
swollen,
round.
yeah.
Swollen.
He wasn't even throwing it after round 7 because I guess he beat the guy so bad he was hurting his hands on his head.
I'm not gonna lie. I for some reason I kind of thought they was gonna give it to the other dude, cause the knockdown. You know, he knocked him down.
Oh, the first
in
fight.
the first fight.
Yeah, I'm talking about the first fight.
Yeah, in
Yeah.
the first fight. Yeah.
He knocked him down at the.
Well, he schooled him most of the fight except for
did.
that last round.
You know
But that
what's
last
funny?
knockdown was bullshit though. But I was like, let's see if they hopefully they don't just.
Yeah.
You know, I thought when he fought Gavril the first time, and then afterwards Benavidez said he was like recovering from the flu, and I was kind of like,
Yeah,
that's like an excuse, whatever. But when they fought the second time, and you see what he did to him the second time, you're
Oh
like,
my god.
he had the flu.
He must
You
have.
know?
Yeah.
He had the
Oh
flu.
yeah, he was sick.
Yeah, he
That's
was
funny.
sick.
Ain't what's his name old? Other dude.
Gavril?
Isn't he old as hell?
Oh,
Or not old as
No,
hell.
I
but
don't think
kinda
he's that old.
No?
He's older, but I think he's still in his 20s. He might be 28, 29, maybe
yeah, so
30.
It's gonna be like 30.
Yeah, but that's not old.
But yeah, it's not. But David.
Yeah, David's a special
20-year-old.
guy, man.
A
Well,
20-year-old.
well, you know, like I've seen him spar. I've seen him spar at least 5 times against Zurdo Ramirez, the other 168 world champ. And the very first time I saw him spar, I thought I didn't really know who was the champion there because they were in their headgear, and I watched David beat the crap out of Zurdo, and I'm like, the other guy's the world champ. I'm like, I thought this guy's the world champ because David was giving them business. But anyways, after David's fight last weekend, Caleb Plant's fight, and all 3 of them, Benavidez, Caleb Plant, and Zurdo Ramirez, they're all calling each other out right now.
Oh, shit.
Which is perfect, you know, which is nice because I helped to set up sparring for the last Zurdo Ramirez fight.
Yeah.
And then I've seen David spar a bunch of times, and then we fought Caleb Plant one time. So it's nice just because we know all those fighters. But damn, they're at world class level right now.
Yeah, man.
About to make $1 million.
Fuck yeah.
Well, we just had the fights here in Inglewood at the Forum last night. Sorung, I butchered his name. My apologies. Sorung Visai, the cat who knocked out
yeah.
Chocolatito
Chocolatito,
twice.
I wish
Yeah.
I would have saw that.
He fought last night. It was a close fight.
Yeah, actually, I seen some shit about it on Instagram today. Actually, that was a real close fight.
Yeah, it was a close fight.
Yeah.
But the
gave it to,
Chocolatito.
Were you here when Chocolatito came by the gym?
Yeah.
He was here for like a week or 2,
Yeah,
huh?
I came and I seen him like I think 2 different days, something like that.
Man, he had a lot of
Media
here.
Yeah.
He was
cool.
I was on my way to Italy and I get a call from somebody and he's like, "Hey, is Chocolatito there?" Like he's talking to me in Spanish. I'm like, "Who's this?" He's like, "Oh, I'm a reporter from Nicaraguan news media." I'm like, "How'd you know? How'd you get my number?"
Yeah.
And so, anyways, I told him to call Chocolatito's trainer. And
Yeah. So that was
Bunch
for
of
his,
people here.
that was
How did
his
that
second
happen?
fight with Sorung Visai, or his
yeah,
first
that was
one?
a rematch.
That was a
Yeah,
when
he was
got
here
knocked
for
out?
the rematch. Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, he was a real nice guy, huh?
Yeah,
Gave my mom an autograph, some gloves and stuff.
That's
What
cool.
you think he gonna do now?
I don't know. Retire. He was like 42 and 0 until he met that guy, and now he's
Yeah.
42 and 2.
Damn.
But I guess he jumped up 2 weight classes, though, right?
But a lot of people thought he should have got the decision on the first fight. So I mean, the second one, yeah, he was knocked out. But a lot of people felt like he should have got.
I
the
kind of
decision.
thought he won this first fight
Yeah.
too. But
So he's not like washed up or anything like that. There's plenty of people he could still get after, you know.
you know, if he's still hungry, if his bank account is still got room for money.
Hey, check this out. Ray
Or if it's like
Beltran.
a job.
Ray Beltran picked up a strap. His first.
That happened that
first
Friday,
win,
right? Last Friday.
Yeah, last Friday. So it was his first win in his 4th attempt at a world title. So this was his 4th attempt at a world title. He finally picked it up. Unanimous decision.
You were at that fight where he was on the Lomachenko undercard.
Yeah.
I was at that one too.
Yeah.
That was supposed to be for a belt, but the guy came in overweight.
So, yeah.
But I thought he lost that one, and they gave it to him.
They gave it to him. Yeah.
Did you think he won that one or lost it?
It was a dirty fight. I mean, like when I say that, I mean both fighters were clean. It was just not,
Yeah.
it's not a very clean fight to watch. Tough fight, but it's all right. He got the decision.
Yeah.
But he got the decision last Friday, so now he's got the strap. So World Boxing Super Series, they said they want to do lightweights now. They want to pick him up. They want to pick up Lomachenko. You know, they want to get all those cats doing World Boxing Super Series.
Yeah.
Jorge Linares. So they want Linares, Lomachenko, Ray Beltran.
I love watching Linares' mitt-work videos and all his training videos. He looks really fast.
I think I told you. Have you seen Jorge Linares' training videos?
I think I seen like one.
Dude hits a speed bag with his head faster than I do with my hands. Like he's like.
Jesus.
His trainer, I follow his trainer too on Instagram. His name is Ismael Salas. and he's like short, little buff guy.
Okay.
Older guy. I think he's in his 50s, but he trains a lot of world-class fighters. Funny thing about him, he wears platform shoes every time he's doing mitts. He's got like custom,
Why?
because he's so short.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he does.
You can't just hold them in?
Yeah. No, he wears like
I don't understand.
literally like 6-inch platform shoes. It's crazy. Next
I mean,
time
the guy who does mitts with Tyson Fury is way shorter than Tyson Fury, and he still gets him up there, you know?
Yeah. But you should. I'll show you. I'll show you this guy's videos.
You gotta get some for me, bro.
I need
Yeah,
some.
exactly. I was gonna say you have to use some of them.
Yeah, I need some for you.
How tall are you?
6'6".
6'6"?
Yeah.
What weight class?
Right now I'm actually I weigh like one. I want to say like 78, but if I do fight, probably like 168, something like that.
That's
Well,
pretty tall for that weight too.
Yeah. Well, I think for tournament, if you can get down to 68, because that's a tournament weight. But if you're gonna do a show, you just try to walk in there 175 and not like drained. You know, feel healthy and strong.
Yeah,
That's most important.
Definitely.
But super busy weekend of boxing last weekend, and then
And this weekend, yeah.
and then
Had a bunch of fights this weekend too.
yeah. And what do we got coming up now?
We got Deontay Wilder and Luis Ortiz,
Ooh.
and that's coming up on Saturday. I'm looking forward to that.
You seen the training? You seen the videos of Ortiz training? He's like on the track doing push-ups, sprints.
Whatever
looks slim,
whatever
though.
he does, he's.
Who do you think will take that fight?
Oh man, how do you know, right? Like I
Ortiz
feel like
is a good
I feel like it's a
boxer.
pick 'em.
It is.
It's just a pick 'em, isn't it? How do like
Well,
I don't know how to call that one. I really don't.
No,
Well, I was thinking about
that's how
this.
I feel too.
Yeah.
I was thinking about this the other day. I like Wilder just because he's got confidence and he wants to go in there throwing bombs. But a good boxer like Ortiz is smart, and he's gonna look for openings.
Yeah.
He could catch him with something. He's smart. He's gonna use his defensive, his shoulder roll, and then
He don't keep his head on the line too much.
Yeah.
And he spar. I seen Deontay a little clip of him sparring David Hay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
David Hay rung his bell good, right?
Oh, really?
Yeah, he got
So
him.
I'm like, damn, Ortiz,
got him.
yeah, Ortiz is
He can move his
masterclass.
head.
And Ortiz came up through that Cuban amateur system, right? So
Yeah.
he's I mean,
Cuban's
now that I
dominant
think about it,
amateur.
I said it's a pick 'em, but I'm kind of scared of Ortiz if I'm.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Deontay
saying.
Wilder.
Like he's a
Deontay Wilder.
methodical boxer with heavy hands, with heavyweight power.
Wilder
and
leaves
some
himself
speed.
open a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, cause he long, what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
So like, being a long fighter, you kind of get a little lazy. Not lazy, but you just.
What- You're about
Do you feel
Deontay's
like-
Yeah, I'm the
height,
same
right?
height as him.
Do you feel like you get lazy?
I do, yeah. Like I get away with it too. But that's the problem. It's like I even get told that like kind of like you want to get in the habit of being more careful because you might not always get away with it. But being tall, hell yeah. Especially if you can hit, if you guarantee you go put somebody out with this, man. I'll be doing the same damn thing as Deontay. Shit. If I knew some people was going down with this
Yeah.
first shot, oh, yeah, I'll be
But
doing the same thing.
I mean, Joshua's tall too, and I would say he doesn't expose his chin as
No,
much
he-
as
no, he
Deontay
don't.
Wilder does.
Well, he's more like Ortiz. He's more traditional boxer.
Yeah.
yeah, Deontay
Ortiz gonna have some tricks.
he
though.
just a scrapper.
Yeah,
He
so
for
I can
sure
do
just-
that. And then Kovalev is fighting on Saturday too.
Oh shit.
Yeah, probably nobody though.
He's fighting barbecue chicken. You know what I mean? That's it. That's it. He's got it. I don't know the guy's name,
Is
but
that
that's
his
what
name?
it is. No, that's what it is for him, right? You ever hear
Oh,
Shaq say that or
yeah.
Charles Barkley? They asked Charles Barkley if Draymond Green could guard him, and he said that'd be like barbecue chicken. That's what this guy's gonna be like to Kovalev.
That's
You know what
funny.
I mean? He's just gonna eat him alive.
Well, hopefully he doesn't kill him.
That's harsh, man.
Yeah.
That's harsh.
But yeah, there's a lot at stake with the heavyweights in the next on that fight. Whoever wins that's probably gonna get a shot at Joshua.
About time.
Not right away.
Shit.
You don't think so?
No,
You don't think so?
he'll continue to defend his mandatories.
Ah, that sucks.
No way.
Well, he's fighting Parker. Who else is he gonna fight? There's
He's
no.
gonna fight Joseph Parker, and then he'll fight his mandatories. He's not going for one of those two cats right now.
Then,
No,
then if he doesn't,
ducking. He for sure. I'm not
Then-
even the type to say that.
then I would say he's ducking.
Yeah, he is.
Well, I mean, you could
It's
call
weak.
it that, but it's probably good business, which is to say that he doesn't have to fight the man puts 70,000 people in Wembley Arena. It doesn't matter who he's fighting.
Yeah.
So why fight Deontay Wilder?
Maybe he'll fight Tyson. Maybe he'll fight Tyson Fury.
You could,
Yeah.
I mean, that would be a huge money fight and probably a better fight considering Tyson Fury has to lose, 40 to 60 pounds to even get
Yeah.
back into
Yeah,
shape.
that's hard to come back from that and perform well.
So like I'm not saying they won't fight. I'm just saying if you're Anthony Joshua, why fight right now? From a fan's perspective, that sucks though, because we all want to see him fight right now.
Well, then
right?
I give more credit to Wilder because he's like, I'll take on anybody.
That's
So.
kind of.
And he's calling him out.
Yeah, Wilder pays his mandatories to fight better fighters, right? So meaning he'll pay his mandatory to step down,
Step aside.
so that he can fight somebody who's better, right?
That's good.
But
Well,
that's not how Joshua rolls. He'll just fight his mandatories probably.
well,
Keep
well,
his
that's
belts.
all. That's all good news for us. Something to talk about in boxing.
Yeah, that's
But let's talk about Dante since he's here, since he's our special guest.
Definitely.
So, when did you walked into the gym about 1 year ago, huh?
Yeah.
And you had already been competing in skateboarding or been pretty heavy in skateboarding, right?
Yeah.
And what made you decide to hey, I'm an awesome skateboarder. I'm sponsored by Adidas. I'm sponsored by Baker. I travel the world skateboarding. I think I'm going to try boxing. What made you decide that?
Well, like
Did you get beat up?
my whole life, huh?
No,
I said you get beat up?
Yes, he got beat up.
I got bullied at school. Nah, I actually didn't. But pretty much like I don't know. I always been like a rough one. Like I wasn't like going around picking fights and shit. I've probably only been like little fights in middle school, but I always been into like technical fighting. You know what I mean? Like I guess you could say like a martial art kind of. You know. And I always just been into like fighting, like where you know what you're doing, like competitive on a competitive level, not even like on the streets.
Were you doing like backyard boxing or anything with
Nah,
your friends?
no, but when I probably like around like, cause pretty much how it goes is I've always been into it, but I was worried about trying to get into a stable place in skateboarding, where I could kind of branch off and start doing other things, cause that shit is hard. Like skateboarding, like when you're not in a place where like you're getting paid, you traveling, it's hard, and everybody want to be there. And eventually, I started getting hooked up from Baker, and that's like the most stable place you could be in. I went on, but I was getting hooked up, and I was like, okay, maybe I can kind of like start focusing a little more like on my free time, on like trying to fight. And first, I was a boxing fan for sure, but I really was like I was watching a lot of MMA at the time, just kind of like seeing what was up. And I used to watch a lot of Lyoto Machida, and I think when I started watching actually Nate Diaz, he's got pretty good boxing, but his brother, I was like, okay, I like MMA, but boxing look like very, very useful, because MMA, a lot of people like, boxing is different, so a lot of people like that shit. So I started watching a lot more boxing, and I was like, damn, like I like this shit, like it's a lot more like accurate, the punches are crispier, it's not just like some MMA fights just like truth feel like a lucky punch, knockout sometimes. But yeah, so after that I was like, okay, I really want to start like trying to box, and skateboarding started going up, I started being able to be in more of like a stable place, and I don't know, I moved back over here, and I was like looking for gyms.
Where'd you move from?
I lived in like Inglewood. I lived in Hawthorne I grew up in Hawthorne when I was like 12. But I lived over off like Van Ness and what's the fucking street? Manchester, right? Manchester? No, Century. My bad. Century and Van Ness.
That's not too far.
Yeah, Century. It's in the hood for sure.
It's a little bit in the hood.
It is.
We're kind of close.
Two people got shot at the liquor store right by there.
It happens around there.
Yeah, but yeah, I was living over there. My aunt and we finally moved over here, and I was like, all right, now I really want to, kind of look into like seeing what's a close gym.
Yeah.
And there was one like right here, and I told you I think a while ago I was going on runs, and I would pass by here, but I was scared to come in.
Oh really?
Yeah, I passed by, and I think I seen like Wyatt jump roping too, and I was like, nah, not today. Like I was definitely scared. I was like, nah. And then my dad came in the morning, and everybody was cool. It was legit. I even like looked over there, and I was like, I knew it was up. I looked over at systems, and I was like, no ring, like no, like none of this, I knew what was the deal, and I came over here, and I was like, all right, they got a ring, and they got like all the like real boxing equipment, and I was like, all right, this shit is legit, and sure enough, it was.
Yeah, you've been here a year. You've had lots of sparring.
Yeah.
We sparred that Japanese guy, remember? At Maywood.
Yeah, Maywood. Yeah.
And I guess he's had They didn't tell me how many fights he had.
You said like
said he had
three, 4, 5.
They said he had 5 fights. 5? Yeah. You lit him up pretty good. That wasn't too bad.
He I don't know. He was. I also learned that shit. It's just certain. It's certain like kind of like everybody could have 5 fights, but I learned like it's certain levels. You know.
Of course.
Yeah,
like that's what I learned. Like like you tell somebody like, oh, he boxed, and it's like, okay, there's people who box that'll really whoop your ass.
What do you think's more difficult? Learning a new trick in skateboarding or learning some new moves in boxing?
That's a good question. Definitely. Honestly, to be realistic, it's kind of the same because it take time to soak in. You know, like you try to learn a trick on skateboarding, and it's like one day you just like look silly, like what the fuck am I doing? But try it, and then day by day it kind of just soak in and they come. Same as boxing.
Well, with skateboarding, it's kind of similar.
It is,
right? Because in skateboarding, if you mess up, you get hurt, and in boxing, if you mess up, you get hurt.
It's kind of like the fall. Sometimes you take your falls in boxing.
Yeah. But that, and why it is similar is because it's like boxing, you get punched in the face, but if you got the experience, not every punch is gonna hurt you.
Yeah.
Like a lot of times, the main punches that hurt you is the punches that you don't see coming. Usually, that's what they say. Skateboarders, I fall all day, and it's a laugh, and then you get that one fall where it's like, same as boxing, you get that one punch where you get hurt. You know what I mean? So on the daily, you kind of getting hurt, but it's like more of like you used to it, you tough, you can take it, or you not tough and you can't take that shit, and that's how it is.
Did you feel a difference, like either mentally or physically, when you go to spar cats from the other gyms compared to when you were just working in here?
Yeah, hell yeah. When I went there, I was like, I just didn't know. I don't know. When you spar, it just take like. No matter how much sparring you have, I feel like you always got that little bit of like.
I always get nervous, right?
And that's how it was. Last week. I got there and I'm tall as hell too, so everybody's staring at me like, "Oh, okay." And I'm like, "All right, well, I'm not gonna trip." And then I seen that one dude shadowboxing, and he looked good. But I learned, I was like, never be fooled by mitt work, shadowboxing, bag work, because sparring is completely different. So I'm not gonna worry about it. I got in there, and I learned the first couple jabs I throw, if I'm hitting you. It always tells me like the level, because like I feel like a very high level of boxing, I watch it all the time, like even high level amateur. People not just gonna get hit by jabs, not all day, but if I see somebody like letting me hit them with jabs all day, I'm like, all right.
Yeah, then if you can touch them up with a jab, then your nerves go away, your nervousness goes away, and then you let your hands go, right?
Exactly, because I sparred Marcus, and Marcus, he wouldn't let me just jab. I'll hit him here and there, but he wouldn't let me just jab him. But yeah, certain people.
Yeah, so that's crazy. You started here a year ago. I mean, you're a pretty athletic guy, but you didn't have any boxing experience other than
at home.
Yeah, other than maybe shadow boxing in your room, watching some fights.
We not ever watching those videos. I found those videos on my Snapchat, me trying to box.
You look terrible.
It was like. It wasn't even terrible. It was the worst shit you probably ever see. And I thought I was doing something too.
Hey, but you know what I was gonna say is you've had some pretty good sparring sessions, and you've actually been in with some pro boxers now because Marcus is a pro. So that you've come a long way. You've got probably your first. We're talking about having your first boxing match, amateur boxing match, in March. So sometime next month. How do you feel about that?
I'm excited. I mean. Just as long as I get the one thing I worry about now, like on an amateur level, on like a, I guess beginner amateur level, only thing I worry about is like cardio now, because I watch a lot of like amateur people, even with like 5 fights, you know what I mean, like even like 10 sometimes, and I'm like, okay, like I watch that shit, like the tournaments, and I'm like, all right, I don't, like you never underestimate, of course, but I don't see too much like too much danger, like especially on the amateur at least, pro, like I watch pro and I'm like, damn. Amateur, I don't see
you got headgear, you got a helmet.
Yeah, and I don't see like as much damage as at least if you tell somebody you're competing in boxing amateur, you would think, you know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, as long as I can condition myself and just do what I do, get all my shots off. 'Cause that shit get tiring moving around too because I'm tall.
What your last competition skateboarding? Where was it? Didn't you go?
I guess technically. The other day, it was a high ollie contest, but I don't know. It's like different kind of. You either compete in skateboarding or you don't, or you kind of do. And me, I always like, I like competing it's money, and like
You said it was $10,000 for the highest.
Highest ollie, yeah. But that was like
You didn't win obviously because you would have
got there.
bought
Skipped
some
the
new
show.
gloves from me or
Yeah,
something. Right?
So you would've skipped the show.
exactly.
Yeah.
I got there 30 minutes late because I had a photo shoot, and so I had to come from like East LA all the way there. Got there. It went live at 7. I got there at 7:30 something. When I got there,
How
I
many
think it was
people
like-
were there?
it was a gang of people. I like watching, but like actually in it, it was probably like maybe like 10, 11, something like that. And I got there and it was dark, and I was like, and it was the whole spotlight was on the bar. You gotta like ollie over, and I got there and I'm like, okay, cool. Like, you got it, Dante. I'm like, all right, ollie, you know, I'll fuck up. And I go back and I'm like, why is everybody sitting down? Like, and they gave me like 3 tries, and I found out, I was like, wait, all of y'all did this shit? And they were like, yeah, like everybody just like sitting there waiting on me. I'm like, damn, it was awkward as hell.
So how high did you get though?
I didn't do it. It started off at 40 inches. That shit was like, started off like, how fucked up was it? It started off like right here, something like that. Roughly like right here. Yeah. And that shit was high. But I mean, I could definitely do it. It's just like,
You think you can break the world record for the highest ollie?
nah, I can't.
What is the world record for the highest ollie?
Well, the world record for a while was 45 inches, but this weekend, my homie JK's and then this other dude named Xavier, they both tied. They did 45.5, some shit like that, like barely. Was it 0.5? Like,
So when you got there, it was already at 40, and
It
the
was
world
40.
record's 45.
yeah, exactly.
Jeez.
Oh, so that's the highest mark somebody got at the event?
45.
No, at the one you went to was 40.
No, the one I went to was 45. In the world, for a while, before this contest, it was 45.
Yeah.
But at this contest, it started at 40 just to warm up, you know? And
That was the
I guess
warm-up.
warm up, yeah. And then
Wow.
if you didn't get past 40, you can do 45. And they gave me like 3 tries and raised the bar, and I was like, ah.
So what's like? I'm wondering what's the biggest crowd that you've ever performed in front of in skateboarding? Because I saw that. Where'd you go?
Probably
You went to Montreal, and then you were in Atlanta or Florida not too long
yeah.
ago, right?
Florida, yeah.
And that seemed like a pretty big crowd there.
Yeah, Florida was big, but Montreal was.
How's that feel like performing like skateboarding in front of thousands of people?
I mean, it's cool now. Like, I feel like the hardest part, like the hardest point in skateboarding, skating in front of people, is when people don't know who you are. But when people actually like know who you are, it's like, okay, you don't gotta worry about that. People like, even if you don't do shit, like, I'm not a competitive person. That's like when I box, like that's probably the most competitive I get. But I'm not competitive, so when I go places, I just like have fun. And everybody just like, you show up, it's fine. Just
Yeah.
like there, I just showed up, messed up on like 3 ollies. Everybody's like, hey, good thing you showed up. Like, thanks for showing up.
Do you still get the butterflies with that too? Like you said,
Skateboard?
yeah, like you said with boxing, when you go do skateboard competitions, do you feel that in your stomach?
Nah, not really. I just feel I got this pet peeve. That's pretty weird. I know, like, even if you don't know who I am, like, I'm tall, so everywhere I go, I get stared at. Like, I get stared at. Like, no matter what, even if people don't know who I am, I get stared at all the
Tell
time.
me that guy skateboards.
By fire girls, ugly girls, even guys. Like, they just, they like, who is this dude? So now, like, I've been getting that, like, for a long time. So now I'm like, I just look down. Like, I'm just like, so that's what I do. Like, when I go places like that, and people know who I am. So I don't like to look around. Like, I don't like, because I don't want to like make eye contact when somebody just staring at me. Like, and it's like, oh, okay. So I just like, I look down. I just act like I'm not paying attention, but I'm so aware of everything. And that's just what I do. That's all I do when I'm like going to like competitions and stuff.
You should be nice and smile at everybody.
I should be nice and what?
And smile.
I do. Like, I always gotta smile, but I'm not like.
Make more fans.
I'm not just like. It's just weird. It's like, cause their look is not like, they're like. And I'm just like, if I look and I see like I don't know what to do. Like,
So you said you're going to your next big trip is Australia, huh?
yeah,
That's crazy, man.
yeah. That's pretty. I'm excited for that one.
When is that?
Supposed to be March 15th. We still sorting it out right now, but
And who you going with? Thrasher or?
me. It's just me.
Oh, just on your own?
Yeah, they cause for Adidas they able to send us out places, you know. It's called like travel budget, and they send us out places like, not like every day. You could just be every week like, oh, I want to go here, but like, probably
So Adidas
they send you out.
Adidas pays for you to travel the world basically and skateboard.
Yeah, and
That's
I found,
awesome.
And
How
I
do I
found
get
out
there?
I'm not getting footage for them.
Can they send Chris and I or with you?
That would be
A
great.
traveling podcast.
Hey, that'd be nice.
I
It's,
got
it's for purposes though. It's not like they're not sending you there to send your ass. You gotta actually
Yeah.
film or shit. But I gotta. It's the connection between about skateboarding. That a lot of people don't know is the connections are, but from LA, from California, are Australia and Canada. Those two connections, especially for Adidas, they got a whole team out there in Australia, and they got like team managers. A lot of skaters come from Australia to here. A lot of dudes come here to Australia. So that connection is good. Like there's plenty of people in Australia right now from out here, my homies. So that's good. So I talked to the dude. His name is Kerry, like a head up dude at Adidas. But those dudes all Australian. They was hyped. Like, you going to Australia, mate? Like, oh yeah, just let me know. Like, that'll be easy. Easy connection. Like, whatever you need, we got the team out there. Like, so it's those two connections definitely like easiest ones.
So that's awesome. Well, be safe. Good luck. Have fun.
March. That's the same time you're supposed to take the fight, right?
Yeah.
So we'll fight. We'll fight before you leave.
Before the
Yeah.
15th.
All right.
Before the 15th.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some shows.
Cool.
That's like 2 weeks from now.
I
crazy.
got a question actually from somebody who's watching the video right now. They want to know who your favorite boxers are.
My favorite boxers.
Yeah.
Actually, I've been watching a lot of like Mark Breland specifically, like 1980s. Like he was real big amateur. Fought in Golden Gloves like 5 times. That's my number one because he tall as hell and he like what did he fight at? He fought at like Mark Breland. What did he fight at I feel like 160 something like that. But he another tall, lanky fighter. I like Mark Breland. I like who else do I be watching?
So that's kind of a trip because a lot of people, when you ask them their favorite fighter, I like Tyson, I like Ali, maybe someone I like Floyd Mayweather right now. So how did you come across
Mark Breland?
Yeah.
Because actually I was here and I was talking to somebody. Like I was talking to you. I feel like about just like
Me?
older boxers or something like that. Like this, I was like. We was talking about the history of boxing, and somebody told me like, yeah, look up like these old school
I
boxers.
probably mentioned Hitman Hearns.
You did, Tommy Hearns.
And
That's
then
another one.
he might have fought. Breland might have fought Hearns back.
No,
then.
they didn't fight, but he sparred him though. He
Okay.
sparred him when he was like when Mark Breland was like 17. He sparred Tommy Hearns, but
I think there's a fight between Breland and a guy named Arguellos.
Arguellos.
Yeah, you should look that up. I might be wrong, but that's a really good fight. I think that might be a fight where Breland had his coach gave him some illegal substance.
Really?
In between the
really?
round.
Really?
But I might be getting it wrong. But anyways.
Damn.
But yeah, so I imagine you like tall fighters, right? You got to learn something from them.
Yeah, I mean, I get stuff from the short people too, definitely. But I don't know the tall dudes. It's pretty cool.
anybody right now who you like to watch a lot?
Short?
No, just anybody.
Right now?
Who's active.
Yeah, obviously everybody like him, but I really like Lomachenko. That's obvious.
Oh,
like
yeah.
everybody like Lomachenko. Actually, my favorite one right now, number one actually is Terrence Crawford.
Oh, okay.
And it's funny because actually I found this out. My uncle came out here from Nebraska. I got family in Omaha, Nebraska, and my cousin actually has a 5-0 boxing record. I didn't know, and they trained under
Amateur or pro?
Amateur.
Nice.
They both know Terrence, and they trained at his gym. And my cousin, he got a 5-0 record. He just stopped boxing. He's like, I'm gonna just keep the O. So he's 5-0. I got a cousin that's 5-0. So
He retired
that's pretty
early.
cool. And I just found it out like a month ago, because I don't really like talk to them like that from over there.
Well, yeah,
I
like I said, you're pretty athletic from what I see, and kind of want to discuss a little bit. Like you like Lomachenko.
Mm-hmm.
Do you try using any of that footwork in the ring?
Not really, honestly. I like to use, I guess you could say sometimes, but mainly like I don't like imitate too much like from other people, just because I learned not to. So I definitely just like stick to like what I know. The most I use, but not necessarily because of Floyd, but I use a lot of shoulder roll, and that's just like a habit to me now because I'm so tall up.
Yeah, the fact that you're so tall, what have you been able to use to your advantage because of that in sparring or in training? Has it helped? Have you seen how you can exploit your distance and your reach against other fighters because you're so tall?
Yeah, definitely. Shit, everybody I spar, like, I don't know. It's just something like it's just a weird thing. I always think about it. I see like pro people. I see them spar other people that's like the same height as them, and I see like, or even shorter, and I just see how much shit they just get away with, and I'm like, damn, could that happen to me? But I just feel like when I'm so tall, and of course the first thing I throw is my jab, it's almost like people kind of like hesitant, you know, hesitant to try to close the gap. I mean, it's people who are good at closing the gap, but as far as I know, a lot of people I spar, they like, it's kind of just like, I just noticed they just get kind of a little more hesitant, you know what I mean? And they don't always apply so much pressure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that when I see them spar other people, they apply all the pressure, kind of do whatever they want.
Yeah. Well, it's hard to get past your reach, you know.
I learned that.
And if you keep using that jab, put it on their face. I mean,
If
they keep getting hit, you know, they don't want to go forward anymore.
I do my little cheat thing where I just stick it and I push people's face.
Yeah,
I feel disrespectful when I do that.
Yeah, I've noticed that you kind of came up with that on your own though.
Yeah.
You put your glove right on their face.
Yeah, just push it.
Yeah, and then when they try to push it away, then you hit them with like a straight right or something. So
Yeah.
it's good. You're learning.
I mean, it's only an advantage if you use it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like you see,
definitely.
there's a lot of pro boxers you could see who don't use their height very well.
No.
Like they're tall, but they bring themselves down to the level of
Yeah.
everybody else. You know?
Yeah.
So like, I think when you watch like Klitschko's and stuff like that, for instance, those cats use their height really well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They
Oh, yeah.
keep a good posture and they keep distance.
Deontay too.
Yeah, Dante.
Deontay, he don't ever let you get in that.
Yeah, so
Hell
I think,
no.
yeah, it's good to learn to use the posturing and the height and all that stuff.
That's important. I try to switch up, you know, like the kind of, I guess, pace, I guess you could say, or what I do. I'll go like what I started trying to do a little more is like sit up inside, just in case I end up on the ropes, because everybody think you get a tall person against the rope, that's it.
Yeah.
So I kind of
Can't
like,
fight on the inside. You mean?
yeah, exactly. So I kind of started trying to like, I've been doing it for a minute now, just like fighting on the inside. Like, of course, not walking up and trying to do it, but just if I have to, being able to throw like short hooks in, you know. And then sometimes I'll hunch over, and kind of like bait, and then sometimes I'll have like a long guard out, you know. I'll try to switch things up, you know. So it just kind of hopefully throw people off,
Yeah.
and it works.
But
Especially the long guard when I'm like this. They're like, what the fuck?
Well,
Or hands down, I'll do hands down.
People talk about that in
You
here.
told me not to do that.
People talk about that in here. I want you to know it comes up all the time.
What?
The long arm style.
Oh, him?
Yeah.
Praying mantis.
Yeah, the praying mantis.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like
totally
You like the hands down? It worked.
They're like, have you seen Dante's praying mantis? I'm like, nah, I
Well,
never seen it.
hands down, man.
Well, it's funny because you said you like Lyoto Machida, and when you first started boxing, and I saw you doing, I was like, that kind of. Now that you mentioned Machida, I'm like, oh, that kind of maybe is a little connection there. I don't know that he does that, but
It's good to try different things. though.
It's more like all it is for. It's more like a. I just want people. I want people to spar me. My goal is I want people to spar me and be like, what the fuck, and actually like think twice instead of just like, okay, you just got this up. Let me just get in.
well, you know, I've held mitts for you. I've never sparred you, but I would be intimidated for sure.
That's
man.
good.
Yeah, I'd be like, no thanks, I'm out of here.
Like sparring is supposed to be, especially when you're in your gym, sparring cats from your gym. That's like a learning experience, right?
Yeah.
That's when you get a chance to try new things, like fight inside and do stuff like that. Because if you don't try that stuff, then you never like. What happens when you come up against someone who is your height,
Yeah.
right? Have you ever had to fight someone as tall as you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, he a little more on the. Carl too, but this older dude named Latif. It's my height. and
Latif?
I promise you, his arms are longer than mine. We talking about this. His
Yeah.
arms is longer than mine. I'm telling you, but yeah,
Latif is-
it's different, but he a little more green. But I could tell. I tell myself, I'm like, okay, if he knew what he was doing, this would be some shit.
And he's like 55, so
Yeah,
he's an
but
older cat.
Carl, though, I spar Carl, and that's a good one. Like I'll get used to that. Carl,
Yeah.
he's a heavyweight too.
Yeah,
And
he won some
might-
fights, so
He what?
he's won some fights.
Oh yeah. Don't he got a belt up there?
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome.
But yeah, when I spar him, it's definitely like,
Well, I'm excited for your first fight.
yeah, me too.
You know, all the shows that we go to, all the gyms that we've been to, I very rarely see anybody that's over 6'4". So I think when we go to a show, you're definitely going to be a main attraction.
In that division, you mean, or just
I
in
spar-
general?
In general,
Just
you
in
never
general?
see anybody that tall.
Carl said that
Once.
that my competition at 170, you said 175, would be Princeton. In Princeton,
Yeah.
And Princeton is like,
And you
know,
sparred him, and you know, not to take anything away from Princeton because he's a great guy, but He's got 2 fights. He won them
Yeah,
both.
I know. I seen him on Instagram. He was whooping
And
the
you were
dudes up.
giving him a hard time in sparring. You made it look easy. He was pretty pissed after.
Yeah, he was mad.
But it's gonna be exciting for your debut. That's for sure.
He called me with a little something at the beginning because it threw me off, but
Yeah.
Do you
I
remember?
started picking up on it.
You remember the first time you had your bell rung real good? Did it discourage you? Can you remember?
That was well the first time I sparred, I'm gonna have to show y'all one day because it was fun. My first time sparring, I had on some Nike slip-ons. Oh, it's live. I'm not supposed to be saying that, but I had on some Nike slip-ons, I mean Nike runners, and some sweats. Didn't know what I was doing, but I just remember I sparred with Wyatt, and he kept closing the distance. Obviously, I didn't know what to do. My number one thing that I used to tell people was like, when somebody apply pressure, I don't know what to do. Like I'm just fucked. Like I'm just.
Yeah.
But I remember he hit me like with an overhand while I was like this on the ropes, and I turned my back to him. Like I was on the corner, I just gave him my back.
Yeah, I remember you used
remember
to
that?
turn your back a lot.
Yeah, but that was that was my first time. But like actually like me like my first time really feeling like, damn, that was really hard. Was actually this sparring with Princeton. At the end of the last round, I don't
He
know.
gave you a good one.
Yeah, after the last
That's
round,
strong.
it was like my fault too. I was just like I was being, cause I was doing my thing. So at like the last, I want to say 10 seconds, I don't know. We kind of ended up in like a little scruff, I guess, and we got out. We got out the scruff. I had my hands down, and I wasn't paying attention. It was on the ropes over there. He just like hit me with a right, and I was like, okay. Like I felt it. I was like, okay. If I would have got hit a little harder, like a little harder, I for sure would have like fell over. But it was good. It was hard. I was like, damn, like I got a little headache and shit. Like,
So what's your impression now of boxing? That when you first walked in, you were a big fan. You watched boxing for a long time, and then you decided, hey, I want to do this. I want to learn boxing. You probably thought that you knew a little bit. A year later, what's your impression of like what you think of boxing compared to what you thought about it when you first walked in and didn't know anything?
well, I don't know. I just think it's like, first of all, obviously I knew this when I walked in, but I just learned how much people should respect it. Like, for example, everybody knows MMA, boxing, fucking controversy, but I feel like it should be respected so much because it's so much that people don't know. There's so much little things. Even people don't know about boxing. Some girl, the night of the Triple G fight, and Canelo, some girl was watching MMA. She's like, way better than boxing. And I'm like, I mean, I understand, like, MMA is interesting. Like, you got grappling, you see some crazy shit, but it's just so much to boxing that, like, if people knew it, I feel like they would respect it more than they should.
Well, I think they're starting to.
They definitely.
I think they're starting to now
They
because
starting to, for sure.
a lot of the MMA guys are starting to maybe
Throw that boxing
do
in their
sparring
training
with.
camp, huh?
Yeah, they do
See,
sparring
man?
with boxing. Like,
my homie.
who's that guy that Lomachenko sparred with?
TJ Dillashaw.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dillashaw. The guy that Dillashaw just beat, Cody Garbrandt. He was a Golden Glove champion.
No, that's my boy. That's my favorite MMA fighter.
Yeah,
Cody
he's pretty
Garbrandt.
cool. And then
28-2 boxing.
and then the Diaz boys, they actually have pro boxers that train with them
Yeah, Andre
in their
Ward.
gym, and they vice versa. So
And they have real boxing, like GSP.
Yeah.
I think Freddie Roach pulled Freddie Roach in,
Yeah.
got him going. So they're getting
yeah,
boxing.
What's his name?
it's weird though. For years, like all the MMA guys are like, "Fuck boxing."
Now everybody, because it's bro, our world champions. I'm telling you, our world champions in MMA. A lot of them come from boxing. I mean, TJ Dillashaw. I don't know where he came from, but you see what he could box. Like,
Yeah.
he can box. Like, but when you got a person that could box versus a person in MMA who cannot box, you see a big difference.
Oh,
Cody
yeah, they're in
Garbrandt,
trouble.
he was knocking everybody out, bro. Everybody with his hands. He does not have one knockout with like knees,
Or
elbows,
submission, or
kicks.
well, he probably got submission.
Nah, none. All
Really?
punches. Yeah, all punches.
Wow.
All that same overhand too, because he's a short dude. Everybody just fall for it. Like
Well,
he been knocking.
He changed the game then.
Yeah, exactly. He's
That's awesome.
Short little dude, quick, hit retardedly hard, and he even dropped TJ Dillashaw first round.
That was a good fight.
That was a great fight. I was pissed
They're
off.
gonna go at it again, I think.
Yeah, but TJ not trying to give it to him though.
Oh, that's
Cause
messed up.
TJ got robbed by Dominic Cruz, and
Oh, he wants the rematch with Dante.
no, he don't want a rematch. He just got robbed with Dominic Cruz and have to wait like 4 years to get the title back. So he's telling like to Cody like, you should do the same thing. Like, you got knocked out, you don't deserve a rematch, which I get, but he did rock you first round.
Well,
and he got saved by the bell.
hopefully one day you could spar. You can do some boxing with a pro MMA guy, Teach him some things.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
One day, we got to get your first fight out of the way, though.
Yeah, definitely.
You want to see Floyd in MMA? You want to see him in the octagon?
Only person I can see him fighting is CM Punk. If he fight Conor, I'm not even a Conor bandwagon. I actually hated Conor for a while, but I respect him, like definitely. But yeah, Conor go do some things to him. But he can fight CM Punk. But I just always somehow
They talked about it.
like I always somehow find grappling, like a person who knows how to grapple, getting a hold of somebody who does not know how to grapple. I always just find them like getting a hold of them and just
bad news, right?
yeah, because CM Punk could grapple at least more than Floyd.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah, there's a big gap between somebody who has a little bit of ground game and somebody who has no ground game. Even if you have a little bit of ground game and you have none, you're screwed.
Watch all the original UFCs, right? That's how Hoist Gracie is coming out being champion on all these ones.
And they look so helpless when they're down there.
Yeah.
They don't know what
all
to
these
do.
guys had no idea how to grapple, right? So
Bro.
they came in thinking they were going to fight. And
nowadays you just need takedown defense. If
Yeah.
what's his name?
Yeah.
What did you see that heavyweight fight? The last one was the champ. What's his name?
Stipe Miocic.
Yeah, versus
came from boxing.
versus
watch
that
it.
humongous guy from
Francis
Africa.
Ngannou?
Yeah. And that guy, I mean, all he could do was throw bombs. He landed a
see?
few, but he had no ground game, no ground defense, and he got schooled.
But Stipe could box too, so he
Oh,
wasn't
Stipe, you
he
like
wasn't
his
keeping
head
his head
movement?
on the line. He wasn't
Yeah.
doing stupid shit because
Great boxing on that one.
Yeah, bro. Ngannou fought Andre Arlovsky, this one dude who can box too. and
Yeah, but
knocked
he's
his
way
ass-
bigger than Orlovsky.
Knocked his ass out. Nah,
Really?
Nah, like
Orlovsky's
the
not that big
he
though.
bigger than Stipe,
No,
I think.
No way.
Huh?
No way. I don't think so.
but he knocked his ass
I don't
out.
think so. I know Orlovsky's been fighting for like almost 12 years now.
So he a little older.
Yeah.
Yes, Stipe.
He used to be badass when he first started because he was like the only one that was.
That could throw his hands.
Yeah.
That's the only MMA fighters I like to watch. If they could throw their hands,
Yeah.
they nice.
So hey, what is what's your best trick? What are you known for in skateboarding? What do people besides being tall? Like, what can you do on a skateboard?
Oh, not sacking my nuts on rails.
No, really?
Yeah, I got.
That's what you're known for?
Yeah, I got a full fucking like video on Thrasher, like me just like walking over rails, and I got a photo in a magazine.
So you can do rails
Yeah,
without
Thrasher.
like risking.
Yeah, so if I like sapping a slip, I get lazy too. If I just slip out or something, I just like sit on it or I'll walk across it. I got an award in Thrasher in a magazine
Oh, no way.
of me like almost sacking a row, but saved myself, and it was like Dante Award, most unsackable.
Nice. That's a good award to have, most unsackable.
that's probably the best award to have.
I think so,
I'm,
huh?
I'm happy about that.
More than anything else.
Unsackable, like just save my nuts from like.
Yeah.
That's
in a
funny.
row.
We watched the video a little while ago, right?
Yeah.
Today, yeah, we
Some
pulled up a
highlights.
video. Here, let me see. I'll pull
Oh,
it.
right here, look, unsackable.
Nice.
Nice. That's awesome.
We pulled up this one.
So, Thrasher magazine, you come out in that quite often, huh? What?
Yeah, I tried.
What? I think I heard of Thrasher magazine a few years ago. But it's been around a long time, huh?
Very long time.
I might have seen it when I was in high school too. But what is that? That's like all skateboarding magazine.
Mhm.
It's an
Number
international
one-
mag too,
yeah,
right?
Number one skateboard magazine.
That's pretty cool. Come out in that every now and then.
Yeah, it's the best magazine you could be in. Definitely, it's a compliment
For
sure.
skateboarding?
Yeah, it's a compliment.
Isn't there one called like Trans World or
It
something?
is Transworld, but it's not Transworld. It's the skateboard mag and it's Transworld skateboard mag.
Okay.
They both like nah.
Trans World is
Thrasher.
probably like not. It's not. It doesn't have no street cred, I think, right?
It
too
do,
corporate?
But, it do, but Thrasher kind of just like took.
It's the
took
real
it
deal.
over. Yeah, took it over. Transworld still respected. They was more respected back then, like around like early 2000. Still early 2000, but like 2005.
So you were explaining to me that you're not pro,
Amateur.
you're amateur in skateboarding,
Yeah.
but you still get paid by Adidas.
Not-
They send you out places,
Yeah,
right?
not yet. Hopefully.
Okay.
Soon.
But they budget for you to fly around the
Yeah,
world.
I mean, that's a
and,
good
and
compliment.
skateboard. They video you. They make videos. They do photo shoots.
Yeah.
And then Baker Skateboards also sponsors you, right?
Yeah.
So are you going to turn pro in skateboarding? And what's the difference? Because you're still competing a lot in as an amateur in skateboarding. So what's the next level? It's pro, but how do you know,
Pretty much.
what's holding you back from doing that?
Pretty much is two ways to go pro. Competing is you definitely like that's not like. I mean, I guess you can. People have, but that's not really the way to go pro. How you go pro is pretty much just the number one thing you gotta do is come out with video parts, like street footage, like in the streets, video parts. That's what you travel for.
Okay.
To get footage all over the world, you skating in the streets. Come out with video parts and like big videos. Of course, get photos in magazines, contests. You can't do contests, extra money if you don't skate contests. But yeah, that's how you go pro. It's just doing what you did to go amateur. You know what I mean? But I guess more.
So putting some videos out there, getting a good following, good response.
Yeah, good following is
Doing some crazy shit on the board, some tricks, and just having people
getting
like it.
photos in magazines. It's multiple things. Just kind of growing yourself. I guess that's the word to say. Just
Yeah.
Promoting yourself. Right?
Promoting.
Yeah.
Just like
Man, you
promoting your brand.
Yeah.
But
Building
you're
a
yourself.
brand.
The brand is yourself.
Yeah.
you might be the world's first pro skateboarder / pro boxer one day.
That would be nice. I don't know. I mean, pro boxing is definitely like cool. Like I like, that'd be nice. But I don't know. The amateurs just look like it's a lot more to do. You know what I mean?
In boxing,
Yeah, amateur boxing. It just seemed like what they got Olympics.
they got Olympics. You can travel the world.
See,
You can do a lot of fun stuff.
so I'm just looking forward to amateur for sure.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, let's try to get the first victory
First
next
fight,
next
yeah.
2 weeks.
Let's try to go to Australia with a 1-0 boxing.
Yeah.
There we go.
That's the one that we watched.
The first one?
The one that's in purple right there.
Oh
So
yeah,
you type
that's,
in
that's the
Don-
video part I can't.
Nice. Look, you type in Dante Hill on Google, and Thrasher magazine Dante Hill 6'6" comes up.
Yeah.
That's a video where I didn't say
That's
no
the
real.
first thing that
one.
pops up.
No, the first one where I was telling you I was just walking over a bunch of reels. The first one right there. It's fucking crazy. Watch. A lot of that shit is old. I'm wearing Nike. That's how you know it's old.
Yeah, you said Nike twice already. Adidas is gonna get mad.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Nah. It's just in case. That's my boy. That's my boy too.
So you know all these cats, right?
Except the first dude is Alex Olsen. I never met him. But I know
Oh,
him.
okay.
But the
Okay.
other two dudes my homies.
Thrasher magazine.
I was in Florida.
Whoa, look at that. That's when you're on
Oh, see,
moments, huh?
it's because he's so tall.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he just
yeah.
puts his feet down.
Advantage
got
of being
you.
6'6".
That's not fair.
Oh yeah,
People
no
call
wonder.
me cheat
No
code.
wonder.
Oh man,
That's a high ass reel too. This one, that one was really high.
Yeah, I think you could have sacked yourself on that one.
Yeah. If I was like a couple inches smaller, I definitely would have.
So there's definitely advantage at boxing and skateboarding being
Yeah.
6'6", huh?
So do you have like a cameraman?
Yeah. It's like filmers for the companies. Every company got like a filmer or a couple.
Do you get are there like security guards trying to chase you guys out of those locations?
Yeah, sometimes. It's
Really?
pretty funny actually. Like I don't know, they trip. It's a video of the security guard tripping in downtown on me, like doing nothing. I don't know, it depends. You either get like a really cool security guard or you get one that's like one dude in downtown out of nowhere, he's like, I swear, I promise you, it was out of nowhere. He was just like, all right, you guys gotta go. He was like, and it was all right. And then like he thought we was looking at him. He was like, I was in the military. Like, all right, cool.
So you're like, thanks for your service.
Like, did you
Yeah,
box?
like,
Nice.
you know what I mean? Like, okay, dude, cool. But it's funny. I really don't care unless they like being disrespectful. I'm like, bro, chill out, man.
Have you ever bombed a hill?
Yeah, I bombed. Actually, I bombed. I guess supposed to be the biggest hill in Hermosa.
Oh
Me
really?
and my homie, yeah. That shit was
that's
scary.
crazy.
It got cracks in it too, so it was like it was not safe. And I've
Wait,
been
what
there-
happened? You crashed?
No, I said that the hill has
Oh,
cracks in
okay.
it, so it's even more dangerous.
How fast can you get if you're bombing a hill? Like 30, 40 miles an hour?
Probably so. Shit.
Oh my god. Were you wearing a helmet and knee
Fuck
pads
no.
and elbow pads?
No, but one of my homies who's pro for Baker, Nuge, he bombed the biggest hill, like I think one of the one of the 5 biggest hills in the world. It's in LA, Echo Park, bombed it.
Oh wow.
It was in Thrasher too. It was crazy. And that hill got gang of cracks in it too.
How do you guys scout the locations? Like, so when you travel around, is it that you already know where you're gonna go, or you just look around and find a spot?
That's actually a good question, because it's like sometimes I don't know how people find certain spots. Like, you know, usually like I find spots, you just find spots randomly. But I don't know, skateboarding been around for so long, so it's just certain spots where people just, you know, been around for a while, or new spots like filmers. A lot of filmers like to go around and search for spots, but it's some spots where I question, I'm like, how did you find this, bro? Like, you know what I mean?
Our friend Nick Rendon says Nick is saying our volume is too low. Can't hear us.
Did he turn it up?
Turn it up, Nick. Turn it up. That's funny. Hey, we got fans, man. That's crazy.
That's good, shit.
I know. I think we're
about there.
We're about there, huh?
Yeah, we're about there. We're at, let me see. Check it out.
That's crazy.
We just passed an hour right now.
All right, well,
All right.
It's time to probably wrap it up. It's getting close to bedtime.
It's getting there. For me, for sure. I don't know about you guys.
Hey, I got some sparring coming tomorrow at 10:30.
Really?
165er.
Okay.
So
what
try
time?
to be here. 10:30.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll try to
But
go.
this is the time we give some shout outs. Start closing the show.
Sure, man.
I did want to mention that I got a message from the Tecate girls. They might be here on the next podcast.
Hook me up on one.
Next?
I'm just kidding.
I got it. I'm trying. For me first. Get in line.
I'm just kidding.
Hopefully they don't watch this podcast.
Yeah.
Hey,
They're not coming in.
Yeah, they're not going to come in anymore.
Tecate
You
girls.
guys are going to scare them away.
If you watch it,
But,
you know, nothing really much to say. No, I'm just kidding.
oh, yeah, that's funny. Yeah, they're probably not watching. But, yeah, we're going to try to get some, maybe get some world champions in here real soon. We'll see. But it's been.
I just got a text that said volume is totally fine. Sounds clear.
Okay. You heard that, Nick? Somebody said the volume's good.
Someone else texted me.
Turn it up. Turn it up.
We'll have a text war through video here.
Yeah,
So-
but yeah, I want to give a big shout out to what's his name, the Waltons.
Oh, I want to do that too, actually.
Yeah, for
so
coming by
DJ
last
Walton
week. Yeah.
and his kid, they were incredible guests.
Yeah, nice family.
And
huh?
they worked through the technical difficulties of the show, and I really appreciate their
Yeah.
patience.
It's nice to see that Steve Harvey's watching our show because he got
was
on that
Steve
show right
Harvey,
after us.
Yeah. Believe it or not, this is the really super clean version of the show. We got our stuff down this
Yeah,
time.
you might be on
Things have
Steve
changed.
Harvey next.
Oh, damn, that'd be nice. It's clean, but I curse like a couple of times.
Yeah, that's all right. We'll just edit that out.
It's live. This is a live stream.
Yeah, oh, that's right.
We'll edit it out of the
Kids
podcast
watch
version. When we post a podcast, we'll cut it.
But,
Probably not.
any shout outs you want to give to your sponsors or your fans or your.
Yeah, shout out to my family. Shout out to Baker Skateboards, Adidas for looking out for your boy. Shout out to Sweet Science.
Sweet science.
Yeah, it's
So
good
Shout
job.
out to Marco for inviting me for the podcast.
Well, we couldn't get anybody else, so.
You're not supposed to tell the guest that. You
Just kidding.
really, you were at the top of the list.
That's right.
That's what
Dick
you were at
was
the top
on
of the
bowl.
list.
Like, oh, fuck, hold on.
No, I had you planned on the
Like
the guest list.
like the booty of the bread. You eat the booty of the bread last.
On the first podcast, we were talking about the guests that we would have. And Marco goes all super famous, and I was like, "How about the real fighters in the gym?" You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How about real fighters in here?
Yeah.
So I'm glad. Thanks, man. I
I
appreciate it.
appreciate y'all, man. Thanks for
All right,
having me.
All right, so
Cool.
we'll be back right next Sunday.
Next Sunday
7 o'clock, 7:30.
or thereabouts. Yeah,
All right.
yeah. We'll schedule it.
All right. Well, that does it for. That's round 3 of our podcast. That's our third one.
It's round 3.
All right. Hope people enjoyed our podcast live stream.
Yeah.
Conversation with Dante Hill, 6'6",
Dante Hill.
skateboarder, sponsored by Adidas. Soon to have his first amateur boxing match. Hopefully
And we'll update you on the
Destroy.
status, right?
Nope.
We'll bring it back to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll
We'll
yeah.
let everybody know how
his fight goes.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, we'll record it. We're gonna put. We'll record it. That's going viral.
Yeah.
Just don't lose or get knocked out.
I'm not. Once the camera come out, I'm like, all right.
All right.
I don't care how tired I am. You can't get me on camera looking bad.
Nice.
Cool. All right, that's it.
All right,
Thanks, man.
folks. Good night.
All right, thank y'all.
Good night.
Good night, y'all. What time is it?